Hi, this is a video to help you with some of your homework problems that might be a little complicated because you will be translating some stuff going from words into different expressions. So I'm going to work through a couple problems with you. The first one is like number 6 on your homework, and it says that Nancy and Bill collect coins. Nancy has X coins. Bill has 9 coins fewer than 3 times the number of coins Nancy has. Write and simplify an expression for the total number of coins Nancy and Bill have. So to start off this problem, what you want to do is you want to figure out how can you represent how many coins Nancy has and how many coins Bill has. So I started the problem by saying, well, Nancy has X, and since Bill has 9 coins fewer than 3 times the number of coins Nancy has, that would be represented as 3x minus 9. Now, since I want to know how many coins they have together, I would add these two expressions, which would give me x plus 3x minus 9. At this point, I want to regroup my terms so that I can add my coefficients and combine them. My final answer for how many coins they have would be 4x minus 9. The next question we're going to talk about is number 10, which says, Rita goes to the mall. If B is the number of items she bought, the expression 18.43B plus 25 gives the amount she spent in dollars at one store. Then she spent $26 at another store. Find the expression which represents the amount Rita spent at the mall. And then we're going to estimate how much Rita spent if she bought 6 items total. So first I want to represent how much she spent at each store separately. So at store 1, that can be represented by 18.43B plus 25, and store 2 can be represented by 26. Now when I want to look at how much she spent at the mall total, I want to add these two expressions together. When I do that, I will see that I have 18.43B plus 25 plus 26. I want to regroup my terms and combine what I can, which leaves me with the final expression of 18.43B plus 51. That's how much she spent at both stores. Now, if we're estimating that she bought 6 items and we want to see how much total she spent, we want to plug 6 in for B and then solve using the order of operations, which we will do by multiplying 18.43 times 6, which gives us $110.58, and then we want to add our $51 to it, which gives us a final total of $161.58. Our next problem is similar to number 11, which says, an art class is making a mural for their school, which has a triangle drawn in the middle. The length of the bottom of the triangle is x. Another side is 8 more than 4 times the length of the bottom of the triangle. The last side is 15 more than the bottom of the triangle. Write and simplify an expression for the perimeter of the triangle. As we discussed in class, perimeter is simply adding all of the sides together. So we want to start by defining what do each of these sides look like in terms that are described above. So our first side is the bottom, and that is just represented by x. Now the second side that they mention is 8 more than 4 times the length of the bottom of the triangle, which we would represent that as 4x plus 8. Finally, the last side of the triangle is 15 more than the bottom of the triangle, so that would be represented as x plus 15. Now when we're finding the perimeter, we want to add these 3 sides together, which will look like this: x plus 4x plus 8 plus x plus 15. Then we want to regroup our like terms so that we can add our coefficients and our constants together. And when we do so, we see that the expression that represents the perimeter of the triangle is 6x plus 23. Number 12 says that we need to list the coefficients and the constants of the following expression. Just a reminder, a coefficient is the number that is being multiplied by the variable, and a constant is a number that does not have a variable as part of its term. So if we look at our coefficients first, I see that I have 2 terms that have variables, and they both look a little bit funny, so let's address those. When you have something that looks like our first variable term, which is 5n divided by 6, you can also write that as 5/6 n. So in that case, the number that's being multiplied by our variable would be 5/6. So that will be our first coefficient. Now the second term we have a minus m, and remember that minus is going to go with that term. So a minus m is the same as a minus 1m. So our coefficients in this expression are 5, 6, and -1. Our constants would be the numbers that do not have variable terms, and in this case that would just simply be 7 and 4. The next one we're going to look at is like number 13. A family is going on a road trip. On the first day, the family traveled X miles. The following day, the family went 60 miles, more than 3 times the number of miles traveled on the first day. On the third day, the family went 79 fewer miles than on the first day. Write and simplify an expression for the total number of miles traveled. Okay, so we want to break it down just like we have been for what it looks like each day. Now the first day they traveled X miles, so day 1 is just going to equal X. Now on the second day they went 60 more miles than 3 times the number of miles traveled on the first day. So 3 times the number of miles traveled on the first day would be 3x, and then we want 60 more than that, so we're looking for 3x plus 60. Then on the third day, the family went 79 miles fewer than the first day. The first day again was X, and 79 fewer would be X minus 79. We want to know how many total miles were traveled on the trip, so we would add the 3 days together, which would look like X plus 3X plus 60 plus X minus 79. After that, we want to regroup our terms, putting our like terms on top of each other, and then we want to add our coefficients. And the total would be 5x minus 19 would be the total number of miles traveled between the 3 days. Number 14 says, this will be our final problem for today, a local store sells fences. The store has a standard size fence, and they also make custom fences. The store received an order for 2 different custom lengths. The buyer wanted one fence to be 4 feet fewer than 5 times x, where x is the length of a standard fence in feet. The buyer wanted the length of this second fence to be 9 feet more than 4 times x. Write and simplify an expression for the total length of fences ordered. And then it gives us a list of options that we can choose from. How I would break this problem up is I would look at each of the fences. The first one is 5 feet fewer than 5 times x, so I would write that as 5x minus 4. And then the second one is 9 feet more than 4 times x, so I would write that as 4x plus 9. Now when you are combining these, you can look at them as putting them in parentheses to show that each is representing a different fence. And when you do that and add them together, because you want to order both, you see that your expression matches A. So that would be the correct choice here.